Thanks for joining us on the show, man. How's things going? Where are you in this big wide world?
I'm actually from Batemans Bay, so south coast of New South Wales, small town. Yeah, it's been pretty funny. I guess my whole life I've sort of been around the coast and stuff, so you wouldn't really expect someone around the beach to be very, I guess, like into like the sort of dark, sort of extreme metal side of thing, just like more like a cruisy surfer into indie rock. But no, I didn't like the softer stuff. I'm more about extreme heaviness. So it just it wasn't for me. It wasn't my cup of tea. But to say my mates too, I got a lot of mates from the south coast, and they're the same way. Like instead of surfing, we just either maybe skated or just partied and listened to metal, and that's pretty much it.
There's something about it, hey, like the extreme
Yeah,
metal and the just extreme music here in Australia, with a lot of those places. Like I'm from the Gold Coast, so
yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah,
you
well, there you go. It's like the paradise for it.
it's weird. How I don't know what it is. What is it about Australia and surfing places that love the heavy shit?
Yeah, I know. It's wild. Yeah, it's yeah, like you said, you're from the Gold Coast. Like, dude, Disentomb, they're from Brisbane. They're like the heaviest band ever.
I know.
It's
Yeah,
yeah, it's crazy.
but we're all happy dudes. Maybe that's
Yeah,
that we need that balance in our lives,
yeah, exactly right. Like maybe like it's more about listening, like to the heavy and sort of extreme stuff, and we just I don't know, like maybe it just lines us up a bit. I guess it's
Yeah,
like we'll just be extreme. What do you call positive guys?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
And being a vocalist as well, I understand. You get in that room and you belt it out, and then you feel like $1 million, but everyone else is like, "What the fuck?" So,
Oh, for sure, man. Yeah. Honestly, the reason I think I got so into it was like therapy.
hmm,
I remember in high school just always being so like tense and like so angry and like I just practice like songs at the time that I liked and then just release it and I'd be like, sweet, I feel great. Like, yeah. So it wasn't just like love for the music. It was like, man, it's like therapy too. Every time I scream, I'm getting something out, and it feels like so. Yeah, it's cool.
because you've been doing it for about a decade, right? About 10 years.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I've pretty much like from, I mean, driving my parents off the wall. I mean, I've been starting pretty much since I was like 16. So, going even longer than that now, I think that'd be close to around, oh, geez, I'd say maybe 20. Oh, no, not 20. Geez, I'm not that old yet.
Uh,
I'd say about close to 14, maybe 14, 15 years I've been doing it for. So, it was just something I do like. I just songs at the time that I liked listening to. I was just like, oh yeah, like because I really tried getting good at guitar. Like I'm starting to get more like involved in that now, but it wasn't my strong suit. So I was just like, oh, I'm not good at anything I really pick up, so I'm just going to try and sing instead. And I just did the screaming because I was just like, yeah, I think that's the thing that speaks to me the most. And then eventually, yeah, I started, I guess showing. Or I guess like going out and partying, drinking with my mates, like just doing like karaoke, like death metal or whatever. Just like because you wouldn't care. Like when you're blind, you're like, I don't care who I'm doing this in front of. Like you're just having fun. And then I just got like really good compliments saying, dude, like you're good at this. Like you should try and pursue it. And I was just like, oh yeah, like whatever. And then one of my mates, I was a drummer at the time, he introduced me to these two young fellas with my first band and like they were just like, oh yeah, we'll just jam, see what happens, and just yeah, rest is history. And I mean, not much going on in that band anymore, but I mean, it led me to where I am now. So yeah, it's good. It's good to see finally pay off and actually have some music everyone for to listen to.
yeah, unreal, man. Of course, we're talking about Project Ultimate Satan, uh,
Yeah,
which is
absolutely.
man, what a project, dude. The album has just come out on Friday. The Opus Satanas.
Yeah, the Opus Satanas. Yeah,
Satanas.
yeah. I'm pretty sure it's pronounced like that. Opus Satanas, Satanas, whatever you call it. It's Opus Satan. You can even go with that if you want to.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It's yeah. It's a black metal project about Satan. Who would have thought?
I mean, it depends which part of Australia you're from is depending on how.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah,
So I've got the Labradorian in me, so that's why it
yeah,
comes out with that little bit of twang.
yeah,
Um, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Oh man, what a great fucking record, man.
Yeah, cheers, dude. Yeah, appreciate it. And look, it's great to hear this really good feedback we've been getting because after listening to it, like for the last 4 years, I guess like
Mm.
us creating and stuff, like it's just like it's like anything. You get sick of hearing yourself, it gets sort of stale. But like hearing this feedback, it's really paid off because sometimes when you're in that environment of making music and stuff, and you have the final product, you're like, oh man, like could we do better? Like, is this gonna pay off the way I want it to? And so far, it's been really good feedback. So yeah, appreciate it, man.
Yeah, yeah, it's great, man. And of course, the band is made up of members from different projects like Inhuman Remnants, Black Mountain, and yourself from Terra Forest. Is that how you?
Yeah, Terra Boris.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. See, I didn't butcher that one. Um,
yeah,
but of course, take us back. How did the project come about? Because you're all from different places, right?
yeah. So well, mostly everyone's from Canberra. So me and my and one of the members from the band, now a former member, but was in the band involved with this record.
Mm.
We're both originally from Batemans Bay. I kind of stayed here. He moved over to Goulburn. So we're pretty much like the only ones, I guess, like separate compared to everyone else. Everyone else is in Canberra. But yeah, we all met at the basement. So a lot of the gigs around the South Coast, we had a few popping off at the time, but it got to the point where like it's I think Gladys Berejiklian, she kind of like ruined everything for the music scene, and it kind of happened. Like there's not much already going down in small towns, and
Yeah.
when nightlife has started getting cut off a bit, it was just like it was killer here. Like there's not much ever really going on. Like there's some cool like festivals happening every now and then. I'm stoked for people around here that are really into like the indie scene and stuff, because there's a lot of that still goes around. But yeah, metal scene just died like around in Batemans Bay. But yeah, pretty much we'd just go to the basement every time in Canberra because at least there was always something going on there. But yeah, like even before we started this band, like we all played shows together in different bands. Cal, again, he was like from other band Terra Boris, so we played with. And like we just got really along together, like really hit it off. Like we were really devoted to each other's bands, like big fans of each other's projects. And yeah, Jay Decay at the time, he wasn't having anything going on with his band Inhuman Remnants, and he already had something I think lined up for like some sort of symphonic work, like some sort of like keyboards and orchestra with Daryl, who's the keyboardist. And he was going to put that in actually the Human Remnants next record, and then realized he's like, well, look, I'm just going to make another band and we'll do it that way and just put it in a different direction. So that's what sort of started us. I was a hired gun for vocals. Cal was for guitars, and we just picked and grabbed other members like Luke. He's a drummer. He's got a different stage name. I can't remember for the life of me. I always call him Luke. So it's like, dude, you're Luke to me. Sorry, bro. But yeah, and Nathan and Mosh, who was in Human Remnants as well, and just all went together, and yeah, got a female vocalist Gem, and yeah, the rest is really history. We just went for a kind of something extreme and something that's sort of, I guess, familiar, but a fresh, like a breath of fresh air as well. Like we wanted something new there as well.
Absolutely, because there's a lot going on. Um,
Yeah, heaps.
vocally, but musically, it's a melting pot of different stuff. It's got a little bit of
Mm.
black metal, bit of death. It's got some like groove in there as well, a little bit of tech.
Yeah.
It's cool, man. It's a cool journey. But vocally, I really like how you and Jam weave in and out with each other's lines and the call and response and all that. It really complements each other. How did you find working with her on those parts?
Yeah. Oh, look, honestly, like I thought it'd be very distracting. Like it's sort of aggressive sound and trying to meld that together with, like a sort of very like if someone said the other day when another reviewer had it's sort of like a Beauty and the Beast sort of thing going
Yeah.
on, like like I guess someone with a very brutal sort of sort of demonic sort of voice in a way, and someone with like a very feminine, like beautiful sort of voice linked together. Like I thought it'd be a massive distraction, or like one would deter the other, but it just for I don't know what it was. It just linked up so well. Like Jay's vision just worked. Like it's something he's I guess had a vision for a while, and just experiment to see if it worked. And I guess it paid off. Like I've had a lot of people sort of like, I guess after a show, just sort of be like, hey man, like, not used to something like that being like, I guess, forefront of a sound for a band, but it sounds cool, and it's been great to see that feedback. Like it's good to see, especially when you're trying something new, because you know if it's going to work, And the thing is, you can hear yourself and either take things from it where you're like, this is good, and then maybe take a bit of the bad and be like, oh, I don't know if this is going to work, and then then all you really rely on is what people say, and so far it's been good.
Was there anything that you discovered about your voice through that process of recording this album? Were the new things that you personally tried that you've added to your vocal toolbox in a way?
Yeah, I guess so. Like, honestly, when I started, man, like it's kind of, what do you call it? There's a lot of, I guess, animosity for a lot of the core bands. Like, I'm still kind of in a way, like, a core fan, from fundamentally what I started. But that's pretty much how I started. Like, I was heavily inspired by, like Mitch from Suicide Silence and Phil Bozeman for Whitechapel, and that was sort of my go-to for what do you call the, I guess, heavier sort of music, and I sort of used that, I guess, style with my first band, Terror Voice. So a lot of like really high pitched screams and
Yeah.
like trying to get really like low gutturals and whatnot. And I discovered like as I got older, obviously, I was like, there's things I was growing out of and getting more into like the extreme. Like I really at the time, even Jay, which is a big fan of this album, an interview I saw him do the other day, like Evangelion by Behemoth is like amazing. Like that was a pinnacle moment for me where I was like, this is what I want to do now, and other sort of like bands from different genres and stuff too, just more on the extreme side. But I sort of experimented trying to, I guess, sort of have like more of like a yelling tone, like
Yeah.
sort of like I guess pitch it out more. Like I think someone pointed out the other day saying like, oh, it kind of sounds like Behemoth and it went away. So I think that inspiration probably comes from Nigel, but yeah, it's I think that's the one thing I've discovered at least as well. I'm always trying to try new things, like even like trying like very like goblin sort of like witch howl vocals. Like I've really been experimenting with that because yeah, like sky's the limit. Like a lot of I guess vocalists, they sort of just try and go for their style of like maybe too fundamentally sort of
Yeah.
unique styles with vocals. I'm trying to like really capture everything I can. I feel like that stands out more than anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. And it's cool about Nurgle bringing those elements into extreme music. Because I know
Yeah,
a little while there's, I know some people are like, oh, I don't like what he's doing with these vocals. And it's like, man, it's cool. It
yeah,
like an intensity and you know, and I think there's a lot of vocalists that are starting to adapt that as well. I do. I've definitely drawn influence from Nurgle, in a lot of ways for
yeah.
mid stuff. You blend the lows and the mids, and then you got your witch stuff, which you know what I mean. You blend all that stuff together, and it sort of can take you on some wild journeys vocally, man. You probably
Yeah, for sure. Like,
oh man, it's cool. It's cool.
yeah, what excites me the most is just messing around with whatever you're doing, and then discovering like a new like pitch or whatever that's coming out of your throat, and like like where the hell did that come from? Like there's stuff like that, and maybe making it work. Like, there's been a few things I've done where I'm just like, no, I can't. I wish I could, but I can't do this because I would like literally destroy my voice. But then there's a few things like, yeah, this is a way to maneuver it. It's really strange. Like I think most people that are death metal vocalists, they've never really they've taught themselves. They're complete DIY guys. Like they're never like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll just go to my vocal teacher and they're going to teach me exactly how to get these ranges or whatnot. Even on YouTube, like listening to some YouTube tutorials, like there's some things they're going to say where you're going to be like, that makes like no sense to me on like how I'm trying to get this out. Like a lot of death metal vocalists are just self taught and just it's almost like you're trying to mimic something, in a way. That's what I found with myself. Anyways, it's like I'm trying to mimic these vocalists and seeing how like I sound when it comes out.
See, when I started doing this, like over 20 years ago, yeah, I'm really old, dude, as you mentioned before.
Don't worry, I'm not too far off, man.
No
I'm
YouTube.
getting there.
There was no YouTubes. There was no, I did vocal stuff, but yeah, it's hard. It was hard getting people to understand, vocal teachers especially, like, what do you want to do that for? But now,
Yeah.
kids these days, they've got so many resources, and it's interesting to see how far extreme vocals have come in the last
Oh,
decade alone, man. You've even got dudes like Ollie from Archspire. you know,
Mm,
the chop vocal.
dude.
I can't do that. Guitarist in my band can. I can't do.
Sick, man.
You
Holy
know,
crap.
I
I'd love to meet him just to see what he can do, man. That's nuts. I've even tried doing it. Like we've got a part in our song called Humanity's Last Breath.
yeah,
And it's
great
funny.
track.
We have this like joke going around the jam room saying we call it Scotty's last breath because every time I get through that section, I'm just gone. I'm like far out. Like I'm surprised I don't pass out from it. Like I've been pretty used to like
Yeah,
adapt into it now, but when it first started, I was just like, man, that's nuts. Like shout out to Heath though. Heath really helped with that part because he went over with Jay to the jam room to sort of figure out the mapping for that.
yeah,
Um, and he sort of like shifted the mapping, all the pacing for those vocal sections, and it sort of like taught me how to do it. Because when he first showed me, I was just like, man, like how am I going to fit all these words in like in this sort of time signature? Like it's nuts. But yeah, he really helped me out, so it was great. And ever since then, I've sort of feel like I've gained a new ability. But dude, Ollie's nuts. Like a dude must breathe out of his asshole or something. Like how does he do it?
I,
I got no idea.
I'm gonna tell James that. So what do you go fuck off? But
Yeah.
but he's great. I love that
Oh,
stuff.
absolutely.
I'm
Yeah, it's almost like a jazz fan, like like whatever you call it, by scar or whatever it's called. I can't remember, but
yeah,
it's something like shibby bop bop doo. Like it's
yeah,
just, I
scatting,
guess, yeah, scat. Yeah, there we go.
man, scatman. But yeah. See, I'm more of a caveman dude, and
Yeah,
that's
nice.
but I'm trying to adapt, trying to learn that stuff. But it's all about it. But of course, to my understanding, it was written during a very difficult time period of the bushfires and COVID and all this stuff that was happening at the time. How did you find that inspired you or influenced you vocally and lyrically for the concepts behind the record?
Oh man, like honestly, it was for a lot of people a very dark time. Like I guess not a lot of people like had a grasp on reality, like just how dangerous nature is.
Yes.
You know, and depending on what your opinion is on COVID or not, like it's for a lot of people, there was something that was, I guess, to just pretty much shape the whole world. Like it's just I guess put people in a position where it was just like, hey, like like it's almost like seeing something off a horror movie, like people getting sick, virus being spread around the world, and then fires, in Australia, especially close to home as well. Like pretty much everyone that's in the band was what do you call negatively impacted in some sort of way. Like luckily for everyone that I guess is in the band wasn't impacted in a way where we lost anything. Just like obviously being a very like close position of danger. But I think to really sort of shape the way where you know, everyone's got, some sort of, you know, timeline in this world that eventually expires. And, it's sort of, I guess, inspired us to be like, it sort of gave us that, it really, I guess, weird sort of perspective, like almost an apocalyptic perspective, being like, like writing pretty much, I guess, the verses at the end of the world kind of thing. I guess that's the way I kind of saw it. A lot of the lyrics were written by JDK, which is the guitarist and backing vocals. I was more of, I guess, the vessel, but it really helped shape, inspire, I guess, the style we're sort of going for and what we wanted to do. I guess, and the thing is, like, I guess for more work that we'll be doing eventually in the future is going to sound in a way, I guess, like an apocalyptic sort of anthem. Like, I guess that's the way that's sort of what I took from it.
Mm.
But in the same sort of sense, like a lot of the lyrics, there's like it's a duality of like a lot of negatives and a lot of positives, and sort of like reversing that, and becoming something from it. So it's really good. Like as soon as I heard about the sort of you know lyric direction, I was just like, this is cool. Like there's a lot of songs out there that are negative and they sound cool, but then there's also I guess at a stage where you're like, man, like how much can I listen to stuff about beating myself up? You want
Yeah.
sort of that flip of that as well. And I guess in a sense, you can be extreme from positivity as well, just becoming powerful. Either within yourself, like in your mind, or in a physical way. And that's sort of, I guess, the direction we sort of go in regards to that.
It's in several parts, is that right? Like the concept behind it has been split? Is it into three? Is it?
Yeah, it's sort of like I think you just in a way like a side A and a side B.
Hmm.
Jay's got a lot of I guess the ideas and the direction of how the concept works, but yeah, a lot of them are involved with invocating Lilith, sort of like summoning her in some sort of way. And I guess that's sort of like the inspiration for having the female vocalist there as well.
Yeah.
Sort of having that sort of that you know demonic sort of presence and like a sense of beauty. And I guess like yeah, other parts of the songs, kind of like I guess like Humanity's Last Breath is more of like a journal of what someone's going through, from a very dark place and
Mm.
trying to I guess he's expressing how destructive he wants to become, like pretty much I guess become the person that's responsible for I guess everyone's last breath. And I guess yeah, the funny thing about is this how freedom dies. We didn't even originally write it, for anything to do with people being in lockdown. It just happened to be the perfect timing when it was written that those lyrics were there. I guess for when it was in fruition, it was like, oh, okay, I guess this kind of works in some sort of sense, and everything from the rest of the albums. I guess got its own stories as well, which you pretty much can take it to your own interpretation. Like I've even interpreted it myself in some sort of way where I expressed to Jay saying, "Yeah, this is what the album is about." It's like, no, dude, like it's about this, but it's up for interpretation as well. You can take it any way you sort of want, but like, yeah, it's definitely unique. Even me being a member in the band, it's a few things I haven't even fully comprehended yet, but it's a very interesting album for sure.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And have you started working on the follow up already? Have you got ideas for the next step?
Yeah, yeah. Like we're pretty much hoping to just keep going. Like as soon as we, I guess, burst this out in the world, we were just like, well, let's get going again. Try and be as I guess, I guess involved as we can with getting some fresh material out. Sort of have that flow going
Mm.
of making some more work and just if we can make it heavier than the last, like, because the thing is, like, it's good to have everyone on the same page in the band too, because there's no, oh, I want to go in a different direction this way and this way, kind of sort of thing, which that's good in some respects, but like not diminishing the sound of the band as well, because I guess the thing I'm more excited about is when you make I guess like some work on an album is the next I guess tracks in the album you want to make is you want it to be better than what it was before, and
Yeah.
also I guess in my opinion heavier. Like I want to shock people. Just want everyone's faces to melt off. Just like being a complete all. Like somewhat of a spectacle. For the next track. So it's just really trying to turn it up. Another another 10. Just yeah, trying to get more I guess aggressive and as possibly heavy as we can for sure.
Absolutely, man. That sounds unreal. And you've got some shows coming up, right? Like to wrap up.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah. So our first international, oh no, international, I wish, not yet, interstate shows. So
yeah.
I'll be the first time in Melbourne at the Bendigo Hotel. I think that's on the I believe the 27th of December, and then we have I think it's the Velvet Underground in Adelaide, and I'll be on the 28th on the Saturday. So yeah, really looking forward to those very much. I've only ever played, I think, yeah, locally in New South Wales and some small towns in ACT, and that's pretty much it. So playing down to Victoria, pretty much, Victoria, in my opinion, or Melbourne, sorry, is pretty much the scene for music in Australia. So I'll be stoked to go there. And Adelaide, I've only visited there once, and I'd be very interested to see what the metal scene's like there too. So yeah, very exciting.
Oh man, there's some incredible bands over in Adelaide. You know,
Yeah, yeah, no, some amazing ones for sure. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm
home of
pretty sure
Fire,
Hidden Intent from there, aren't they?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Hidden
But,
Intent. Yeah, great.
yeah, we've got Freedom of Fear as well.
Freedom of Fear, yeah, absolutely. Which, yeah, funny enough, I noticed we never had like any Terror Boris like releases out there for music, but I noticed we're kind of very similar to them in a way. So that was pretty cool to see too. And I was just like, oh, sick, there's another band kind of like us.
Oh
So
man, they're
yeah,
great.
they're cool.
They're great.
Yeah,
They're buddies of ours. Hey, shout if
yeah,
you watch it, shout out to you kids. We
yeah.
yeah, yeah. There you go. But
Pawns
yeah, if
up.
you get to if you get to see them, they are unreal. Good people.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah,
Really, really.
definitely on the list. Like, I can't believe I've missed them because there's been so many shows that I've seen them build on, and I've just missed out on them every time. But yeah, I'll definitely check them out if I ever get the opportunity.
Wear you know those welding shields, you know the
Yeah,
fake. Wear one of those when you see them because they will melt your fucking face off every time. Every time. But very
nice.
yeah.
Maybe I want to get my face melted off, you know.
Yeah,
So
yes, it's metal's the only thing, where it's like it's a compliment, and this
yeah,
compliment, you go like,
yeah.
oh, thanks, man. Yeah,
Oh, like that song like makes my ears bleed. That's a compliment too.
it's
Like,
it is true. It's true. Have you got any plans to come up here and visit us in Queensland?
oh, for sure, man. Absolutely. Would love to play Brisbane. I'm pretty sure the boys from Human Remnants, they used to play there a fair bit. So
Yep.
I'd love to get there. Pretty much anywhere we can. Like, I wouldn't even say Northern Territory is like off the market. Like, I know they do Black and Open Air, I think once a year. I'd love to get on that bill one day. That'd be amazing. It'd be funny seeing dudes like what do you call it, dressed up in masks and hood in like bloody 40-degree heat. I reckon that'd be hilarious. In Perth, been to Perth once. Perth is amazing. I'd live there if I could. The only thing is you got to try and convince everyone else to move there with you because it's pretty much like just so far away from everything else. But yeah, pretty much anywhere is really on the list. Nothing's off limits to us. Like, I've always seen Australia as something with massive opportunity. You just got to make the shows work. It goes with that bloody, I don't know, movie, uh, baseball movie. If you build it, people will come.
That's
Like
right. That's right. Field of Dreams, man.
Field of Dreams, exactly.
Kevin Costner.
Amazing quotes. I got to watch that because I feel embarrassed now that I don't know what it's called. But I'm like, well,
It's
I know it's
very old, man. It's as old as I am. But man, I think it's great. It's great, man. If you're coming up here, you got to make sure you and the boys tee us up. So,
yeah, for sure, man. Absolutely, yeah, yeah. Would love to meet you guys in person. It sounds like you have been involved a lot in that scene over there too. So, and you're saying yourself, used to be in a band as well.
yeah, I'm in a band called Snake Mountain.
Oh, Snake Mountain. Oh, Snake Mountain. I'm trying to think of a band that's similar to that. I thought for a second you were in a band called Snake Witch, very similar band, but it's also a band in Canberra. So I was thinking, like, do I know you? And I was like, no, no.
No. No, we
Yeah,
we get confused sometimes. People can confuse us with was it Mountain Wizard?
Mountain Wizard. Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah,
Wizards. Yeah, but it's like nah, they're good dudes. We're mates with them, but we're the northern snaky mountain people. But
Northern Snake Mountain.
yeah, we're Snake Mountain from the Gold Coast. We're
Yeah, nice.
sunny and
Hell yeah. Good name to
uh,
go for what do you call for Queensland too. Like, Queensland's got plenty of snakes, so
oh,
definitely choice words.
I know about it. Yeah, but we're a nerdy death metal band from up here. So man,
Oh, dude, we're all nerds. Anyone that's in metal's a nerd. Like, we're all into video gaming, Star Wars, all that kind of stuff. I just think it comes with the territory. We're all into comics and stuff. We're all nerds.
it
That's
is.
the way I say it.
Yeah,
Metalheads are just like just like scary sort of meat-headed nerds, in my opinion.
absolutely, absolutely. There is
Yeah,
a connection. There is a connection there. But
yeah.
man, have you got plans to maybe even take things further overseas, things like that? Is that the idea?
Yeah, yeah, 100%, man. I mean, if everything goes well, so far the album's been received very well from everyone around our community, and from guys like yourself, reaching out to us. Which, yeah, thanks for having us very much. And if we, I guess, keep having that momentum of success, or even just the opportunity to, I guess, link up with someone to go overseas. Yeah, 100% would be I'm more than happy to do that. It's funny, like, I only got my passport I think 2 years ago, and I went to Hawaii of all places because I think it was just like something that was like a random, I guess, choice on where to go, and we decided to go there. So I'm just like, I actually found out the other day, Lorna Shore, I think got a show in what do you call Hawaii. So I'm like, man, like sky's the limit. Like let's see how we go. Let's play some black metal in Hawaii. Yeah, see what happens.
Dream, eh? I still want to go over to Indonesia.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
dude, awesome. Like brutal death metal slam scene over there. Like those guys are nuts. There's like trying to figure some of the bands, but those guys are wild. Like I've seen some bands like they're completely composed of like 13-year-old kids, and
yeah,
they're just so brutal. Like it's insane. I can't remember. It's in the tip of my
yeah,
tongue. I can't remember the band names, but those guys are nuts. They love that scene over there. That's just full of like slam kids, and they I don't think a lot of places in the world. I don't think they go as hard as those guys. So yeah, no, they're sick.
that's it, man. It's a dream. It's a dream. But hey, brother, thanks for hanging out on the show. It's been really cool hanging with you.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, appreciate it, man. Yeah, again, thanks for having us, man. And yeah, appreciate you taking the time to have a chat. And yeah, it's nice meeting you, dude. Probably catch you sometime in the Gold Coast there.
Absolutely, man. We'll have beers very soon. But in the meantime, I'm going to have all the links down here in the show notes and on the website. Scotty, have a good week, my man, and we will see you very soon.
You too, brother. Take care.